Hello and welcome. You're watching Good Morning India. I'm Gargi Rawat. Stay with us to find out all the news you need to start your day with. Up ahead, we'll get you all the latest on the farmers' protest, what's expected in Parliament. Also, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra on her way to Rampur in Uttar Pradesh. Let's take a look at the headlines we're tracking. From India's Home Minister Amit Shah to various other cabinet members and Bollywood stars tweet on India's unity and against propaganda as a reaction to tweets on the farmers' protest by Rihanna and Greta Thunberg and others. As support for the farmers' protest grows in western Uttar Pradesh, a massive Mahapanchayat in Haryana's Jind, Rakesh Tikayat warns next there will be Gaddi Wapsi. Meanwhile, the police build new barriers at the Shingu border, which is the epicenter of the farmers' protest. It makes it tougher for the media to reach the protest site. Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra leaves for Rampur to meet the family members of Navreet Singh, the young farmer who was killed when a tractor overturned on him during the Republic Day violence. The government issued a notice to Twitter accusing it of unilaterally unblocking more than 250 accounts that had been suspended after the farmers' agitation. Twitter could face penal action for non-compliance of the order. And former Indian opener Gautam Gambhir says that credit should be given where due. India's success abroad in the recent years have been crafted by Virat Kohli. Our top story, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will visit Rampur today. In fact, she's on her way to meet the family members of Navreet Singh, the young farmer who was killed when a tractor overturned during the Republic Day violence. Accompanied by party leaders, Priyanka's convoy is likely to reach Rampur around noon today. The death of the 24-year-old farmer, a resident of Rampur, had triggered a controversy when some in the media, quoting the deceased father, tweeted and reported that he was hit by a bullet during the violent clashes that took place in Delhi on the 26th of January. There you can see visuals from inside the car as Priyanka Gandhi is now on her way to Rampur. Let's go across to NDTV's Akshay for more. And Akshay, she left early this morning and expected to reach Rampur around noon. Also, she will attend some sort of final rites of the deceased farmer.
Well, yes, Gargi, as far as the entire convoy is concerned, it is en route to Rampur. And as far as the leaders are concerned, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is being accompanied by hundreds of followers along with some senior party leaders as well. But this is a huge shift from the last time when Priyanka Gandhi went to Hathras to meet the family of the gang rape victim in Hathras. There was a huge resistance that was put up by the UP police, several barricades, hundreds of UP police personnel were, they in fact had stopped the Congress leaders from walking or even going to Hathras. But unlike the last time, this time there was absolutely no resistance at all. In fact, the convoy started at 6:30 a.m. from AICC headquarters today, and they had no difficulty whatsoever to cross inside the state of Uttar Pradesh and are moving toward Rampur and are expected to reach approximately 10 to 11 a.m. Today. And as far as the Antim Ardas is concerned, that is happening today of Navreet Singh, the farmer who died on 26th of January. So this, in fact, a very bold move by the Congress leaders to come out in the open and support the farmer's cause by going to the Antim Ardas of Navreet Singh.
Right. So, Akshay, where have they reached so far? And still, Rampur is a long way off. We'll have to see whether, any sort of barriers or any sort of efforts are made to stop the Congress leader. But as you said, the death of this farmer was extremely controversial, especially the kind of claims his family made regarding his death. And that, in fact, has led to, even FIRs being filed against several media people.
Well, exactly. This is a very controversial case, in fact, Gargi, because as far as the claims of the family are concerned and several of the farmers who were there, they claim that Navreet Singh was hit by a bullet, but the autopsy report suggested that it was hemorrhage due to the turning of the tractor that happened when the tractor hit barricades inside the national capital. So yes, this is a very controversial case as far as the farmers' agitation is concerned. And as far as the location of the entire convoy is concerned, they are moving at a very swift speed. They crossed Tilakwa approximately half an hour back. So it is expected that the entire convoy will be reaching Rampur even before 11 a.m.
All right, Akshay, thanks so much for joining us with those details. So Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, along with other Congress leaders, en route to Rampur, possibly could even reach before 11 a.m. As Akshay was telling us, she will attend the last rites of the farmer Navreet Singh, who died during the farmers' protest and the violence that took place on the 26th of January in Delhi. He died after his tractor overturned. There was a controversy after his family had made claims about his death, claiming that he had bullet injuries as well. So Priyanka Gandhi Vadra making a statement there by visiting the family of this young farmer. NDTV's Parimal also sent us this report.
गाड़ियों के काफिले के साथ हैं और ये कारवां जो है सुबह 6:30 बजे सुबह में निकला अकबर रोड से और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि आगे जो है वो सैकड़ों गाड़ियां हैं और धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे ये कारवां निकल रहा है, आसपास के प्रदेश के जो लोग हैं, जो कार्यकर्ता हैं कांग्रेस के, वो भी साथ साथ जुड़ने लगे हैं इसमें। और वहाँ पर भी हमने देखा कि सैकड़ों गाड़ियाँ थी जब सुबह में ये सफ़र की शुरुआत हुई। दरअसल रामपुर में जो किसान हैं नवरीत सिंह, जिनकी मौत हो गई थी 26 जनवरी को दीनदयाल उपाध्याय मार्ग पर ITO के पास जब ट्रैक्टर परेड निकाली गई थी उस दौरान, तो उसी के परिवार से प्रियंका गांधी मिलने जा रही हैं, अंतिम अरदास में शामिल होने जा रही हैं। और कुछ नेताओं की बात है जो नेता यहाँ पे साथ में हैं। और यहाँ पर हमने देखा कि ये एक आशंका ज़रूर थी कि शायद उनको कहीं पे रोका जाएगा, लेकिन जो रास्ता उन्होंने लिया वो अकबर रोड से ITO के बाद लक्ष्मी नगर, करकरडुमा, आनंद विहार, वैशाली, वसुंधरा, ओल्ड गाजियाबाद कोट, डासना, पिलुखवा होते हुए ये गाड़ियाँ जो है वो आगे की तरफ बढ़ रही है। और आप दूर तक अगर नजर दौड़ाएंगे तो सिर्फ वही गाड़ियाँ हैं उसमें शामिल जो आपको नज़र आ रहा होगा, क्योंकि बहुत दूरी तक देख पाना बड़ा मुश्किल है। लेकिन हमने ये देखा ज़रूर कि धीरे धीरे ये गाड़ियों की संख्या जो है वो बढ़ रही है और उसके तादाद में, उसकी संख्या में लगातार इजाफा हो रहा है और ये धीरे धीरे पहुंचने की कोशिश हो रही है। करीब 250 किलोमीटर की दूरी है गाज़ियाबाद से, जो रामपुर की है, दिल्ली से रामपुर की कहें दूरी, और वहीं पर इनको शोक सभा में शामिल होना है। जिस किसान की मौत हुई नवरीत सिंह, उसकी शोक सभा में शामिल होना है और धीरे धीरे ये जो है वो कारवां आगे की तरफ बढ़ रहा है। आशंका ज़रूर थी कि इनको रोका जाएगा बॉर्डर के इलाके में, लेकिन कहीं किसी तरीके की रोक टोक नहीं हुई, क्योंकि पहले भी रोक टोक की कोशिश हमने देखी है। जब रोका गया है तो शायद ये रणनीति रही हो सरकार की कि उस पर कवरेज कहीं ज़्यादा मिलता है। तो अब ये उम्मीद की जा रही है कि हम लोग उस गांव तक पहुंचेंगे जहां प्रियंका गांधी जाके जो किसान नवरीत सिंह हैं उनके शोक सभा में शामिल होंगी, उनके परिवार से मिलेंगे। और एक तरफ किसान आंदोलन चल रहा है, दूसरी तरफ किसान की मौत हुई है और उसी शोक सभा में शामिल होने की कोशिश है। एक तरफ राजनीति की बात भी आती है, दूसरी तरफ जो कांग्रेस के लोग हैं वो कहते हैं कि एक सहानुभूति के तौर पे ये मुलाकात होगी। तो अब देखना होगा कि आखिर कहाँ तक हम लोग, पुलिस कहीं रोक टोक तो नहीं करती है, कहाँ तक हम लोग पहुँच पाते हैं। लेकिन फिलहाल ये काफिला जो है वो उसी तरीके से आगे बढ़ता हुआ आपको नजर आएगा। संजय कौशिक के साथ परिमल कुमार, NDTV इंडिया।
Now, on the issue of the farmers' protest, after pop star Rihanna tweeted about India's farmers' protest, the dialogue has gone international, impressing many young protesters. It's now become a battle of hashtags to counter Rihanna, Greta and several others who tweeted on the farmers' protest. The Indian government, from the Home Minister Amit Shah to cabinet ministers to pro-government celebrities, jumped into this, including Akshay Kumar, Ajay Devgan, Sunil Shetty. While the online battles keep Twitter busy, place offline, how is this conversation playing out? Here's a report.
Why aren't we talking about this? This tweet by mega pop star Rihanna has taken the farmers' protest to a whole new level, with the government of India no less responding and engaging in a battle of hashtags. At 8:59 p.m. India time, Rihanna tweeted. At 1:34 a.m., teen climate activist Greta Thunberg tweeted a message of solidarity. At 5:04 a.m., Meena Harris, the niece of the US president, tweeted, "We all should be outraged by India's internet shutdowns and paramilitary violence against farmer protesters." In an unprecedented move, the government of India responded. The temptation of sensationalist social media hashtags and comments, especially when resorted to by celebrities and others, is neither accurate nor responsible. protests by a very small section of farmers in parts of India. Vested interest groups trying to enforce their agenda on protests and derail them. The External Affairs Ministry even put out two hashtags, India Together and India Against Propaganda, countering the ones on farmers' protest. A BJP spokesperson accused Rahul Gandhi, Rihanna and even a porn actor turned media personality of being anti-national elements.
वहां वो षड्यंत्र करते हैं, एंटी इंडिया एलिमेंट्स के साथ मीटिंग करके ये प्रपंच रचते हैं हिंदुस्तान को बदनाम करने के लिए, चाहे वो रिहाना हो, चाहे वो मियां खलीफा हो। ये राहुल गांधी का बिल्कुल पहला काम है और यही राहुल गांधी करते हैं विदेश में जाके।
Why is Delhi being converted into a fortress? Why are we threatening our farmers, beating our farmers, killing our farmers? Why is the government not talking to the farmers?
Soon, top ministers of the government were tweeting using the official hashtags, as did Bollywood stars. Young protesters, surprised by Rihanna's tweet, are asking why top Indian celebrities are not speaking out in their favor.
इंटरनेशनल हाइप तो क्रिएट होगा ही होगा, बिकॉज यू नो शी इज सच अ बिग पर्सनालिटी, शी इज अ पर्सोना, तो उसको बहुत सारे स्टार्स भी फॉलो करते हैं, तो उसके साथ एक ट्रेंड चलता है। बहुत सारे बड़े सेलिब्रिटीज उनमें कोई कुछ नहीं बोला, तो आई थिंक इट्स अ शेम ऑन देम।
Reacting to Rihanna's tweet, Kangana Ranaut, with 3 million followers on Twitter, called her a fool and tweeted in her words, "No one is talking about it because they are not farmers, they are terrorists." The same terrorist comment which had led to escalation of her Twitter spat with Diljit Dosanjh in the past. While Dosanjh quickly put out a thank you Rihanna song. He hit out at Ranaut, tweeting Jaat di kod kirli Shatiriya nu japhe, which simply means a person with lesser influence attacking a highly powerful person. So now this war of hashtags is between the government, ministers, Bollywood stars and Rihanna with others. Canadian Sikhs like Jagmeet Singh, who heads the main Canadian opposition party, late-night TV show host Lily Singh and poet Rupi Kaur have also tweeted. Lily thanked Rihanna for tweeting and said this is a humanity issue, hashtag I stand with farmers, and this narrative is tired. Just why Rihanna tweeted on the farmers' protest isn't clear, although she's known for commenting on political issues, even posting on the Myanmar coup a few minutes after her India post.
Rihanna and Greta Thunberg's Twitter posts together received nearly 1 million likes. Hashtag farmer protest was top trend in India and worldwide with over 1.1 million tweets. Within an hour after the government's response, there were 200,000 plus pro-government tweets. Greta also posted a photo of the farmer protest on Instagram with over 100,000 likes. The word Rihanna was searched over 200,000 times on Google alone. With Arun Singh, Revati Hariharan for NDTV.
A huge crowd gathered at Jind in Haryana for a farmers' Mahapanchayat, or meeting to push for the repeal of the 3 new farm laws, at the heart of the farmers' protest outside Delhi since November. While several such gatherings have been seen in the past few days in Uttar Pradesh, Wednesday's meeting took it to Haryana's Jat heartland. A Bharatiya Kisan Union leader Rakesh Tikait addressed the gathering at Jind, considered the epicenter of Jat politics in Haryana. Take a look.
These massive anti-farm law Mahapanchayats, so far seen in the UP's Jat belt, now spread to Haryana. This one held in Jind district, the political capital of Haryana, the epicenter of the state's Jat politics. Unusually for Haryana, the loudest cheers for Rakesh Tikait, the Jat leader from western Uttar Pradesh, whose emotional appeal went viral, triggering a resurgence of the anti-farm law protests. This village, Kandela, was the first in this region to have sent men to Tikait's sit-in at the Delhi-UP Ghaziabad border in response to the video.
चौधरी देवलाल को ताऊ देवलाल की उपाधि दी गई थी। अब हमें राकेश टिकैत को दादा टिकैत की उपाधि देने लग रही है जी।
The frenzy so high and the rush to be on stage so great that at one point the stage collapsed. Ticket, unhurt, told the gathering that our demand are same: repeal the laws.
हमने अभी बिल वापसी की बात करी है। सरकार कान खोल कर सुन ले। अगर इस नौजवान ने गद्दी वापसी की बात कर दी तो क्या करोगे? अगर इसने गद्दी वापसी की बात कर दी तो क्या करोगे? आप अपना काम कर लो, ये बिल वापसी ले लो।
Jeend district is always considered as the political capital of Haryana. The district has 5 assembly seats, 3 represented by the JJP, which is partner in the government. This Mahapanchayat is a clear call to all the leaders who are in the government, especially Dushyant Chautala. But since this agitation has started, Dushyant has not spoken a word against the farm laws, but he maintained this line that we can resolve the crisis with discussions, or the government is ready to accept the demands and make amendments in the laws.
जेजेपी है ना, वो बीजेपी की बी टीम है सर। हमने जेजेपी को वोट दिया था, ना कि बीजेपी को।
Gatherings like this are likely to further turn up the heat.
The Mahapanchayat at Kandela village has come to an end, attended by Rakesh Tiket, Balbir Singh Rajewal and other farm union leaders, CAP leaders and female leaders from Haryana. But a strong message has been sent out to the entire Haryana that come out in numbers, support those who are sitting at protest site near Delhi border to get the laws repealed. With camera person Ashwini Mehra in Jeend, Mohammad Ghazali for Indie TV.
And let's focus now on the protest site, and at the Singhu border protest site in Delhi, which is considered the epicenter of the protest, that's the Delhi-Haryana border. The police have increased the barriers cutting off farmers from Delhi. The media too has to walk several kilometers now to even reach the protest site. Saurabh Shukla reports.
Right now we are standing at Singhu border, because media is not allowed today to enter from that side of Delhi. So we have walked almost 6 kilometers to reach here. And you can see the preparations by Delhi police. They have made a wall with concrete and these iron rods. They have placed these 3 feet iron rods and they have sharpened them. So these farmers cannot enter to Delhi. And you can see that the cranes are there. They are digging National Highway, and they are going to build a second wall here, and they have covered the iron nails with the cloth. You can see that cloth that they have covered it with iron cloth, and you can see these beams and iron rods they are going to put inside there, and then they will place another set of barricades. And you can see that's Delhi and that is Haryana.
And we speak to reporter Mandeep Punya. Mandeep Punya, remember, was the reporter who was arrested by the Delhi police on Saturday. A Delhi court granted the freelance journalist bail. He was arrested, in fact, at the Singhu border point, and Mr. Punya was granted bail by the Rohini court on a guarantee of 25,000 rupees. He spoke to NDTV's Sharad Sharma.
बाहर निकल के मन में जो पहली बात आ रही है वो क्या है मनदीप?
मेरे को सबसे पहले मन में यही बात आ रही है कि मेरे तरीके से जितने भी जर्नलिस्ट हैं जिनको जेलों में बंद किया गया उनको फ्री किया जाए, चाहे कप्पन सिद्दीकी साहब हों चाहे कोई और जर्नलिस्ट हो जो गांव रूरल इंडिया में रिपोर्ट करते हैं, ग्राउंड से रिपोर्ट करते हैं। आज के टाइम पे सबसे मुश्किल काम ग्राउंड से रिपोर्ट करना होता है और मेरे को रोका गया और मेरे को जेल में डाल दिया गया। तो खैर मैंने तो जेल को भी अपना बना लिया कि मैं जेल से भी मैं रिपोर्ट कर सकता हूँ। वो एक रिपोर्ट में लेकर आया हूँ, वो कल मैं पब्लिश करूँगा।
आपके ऊपर आरोप लगाया गया कि आपने पुलिस साथ बदसलूकी की, मारपीट की, आपका पक्ष क्या है?
अभी देखिए, अभी तो कोर्ट में है मामला सारा, तो ये तो लीगल वाला पेज है, वो सारा बाद में करेंगे। वैसे मैं वहाँ पर खड़ा था और पुलिस ने मुझे खींचा था इतना, और उसके बाद जो कुछ हुआ था वो पक्ष सारा एक बार मैं अपने वकील से डिस्कस कर लूँगा। और जो वीडियो आपके सामने, आप लोगों के सामने,
आप अपने पैरों पे कुछ दिखा रहे थे, कुछ लिख कर लाए हैं। अच्छा, पहले आप मिठाई खिला दीजिए। अभी निकल के आए हैं जेल से, तो उनके जो दोस्त हैं जो शाम से खड़े हुए थे, तो अभी जो है मिठाई खिला रहे हैं। हाँ, आप अपने पैरों पे कुछ लिख कर लाए हैं।
ये जर्नलिस्टिक नोट्स हैं जो हम पत्रकार लोग लेते ही हैं बात करते हुए। तो किसानों से मैंने जो बातचीत की थी, उनके नाम हैं और जो उन्होंने कहा वो मैं सारा लिख के लेके आया हूँ, ताकि मैं अपनी रिपोर्ट्स को कल अपनी रिपोर्ट को लिख पाऊँ। ग्राउंड जीरो से रिपोर्ट करना हमारा काम है, तो मुझे तिहाड़ में मौका मिला, जो किसान बंद थे उनसे बातचीत करने का, तो मैंने उसको ले लिया, ठीक है चलो भाई, जो अंदर किसान बंद हैं उनका क्या कहना, वो कैसे उठाए गए, क्या वो था, वो सारा मैंने ले लिया।
कल कुछ करने वाले हैं यहाँ, प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस वगैरह है, कुछ बताएंगे क्या हुआ था?
अभी कुछ पता नहीं चला। जितने भी साथी इस प्रोसेस में मेरे साथ जुड़े रहे उनसे एक बार मैं बात करूंगा रात को, कल सुबह तक मैं आपको डिसीजन जरूर बता दूंगा।
ठीक है, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तो मनदीप पुनिया, पत्रकार, स्वतंत्र पत्रकार, जो बिल्कुल जेल से अभी निकल के ही आए हैं, रिहाई इनकी हुई है, और बता रहे हैं कि नोट्स बनाए हैं तो कागज़ नहीं थे, तो अपने पैर पे ही इन्होंने लिख लिया है, और अभी आगे की रणनीति तय नहीं है कि क्या करेंगे। अपने दोस्तों से और वकीलों से बात करने के बाद ही आगे क्या करना है इसका जो है वो खुलासा करेंगे। तिहाड़ जेल से अपने कैमरा सहयोगी राकेश सिंह के साथ मैं शरद शर्मा, एनडीटीवी इंडिया।
Welcome back. Now, within 16 hours of international pop star Rihanna tweeting a photograph of India's protesting farmers with an article highlighting the internet ban around Delhi's borders, singer-actor Diljit Dosanjh released a song on her titled Riri, which is another name for Rihanna. NDTV's Arun Singh explains what he's singing about.
फार्मर्स प्रोटेस्ट को सपोर्ट करते हुए रिहाना के ट्वीट करने के 16 घंटे बाद पंजाबी एक्टर और सिंगर दिलजीत दोसांझ ने रिलीज कर दिया है गाना रीरी, जो डेडिकेट किया है उन्होंने रिहाना को। और आज यानी 3 फरवरी 2021 को 1:30 बजे उन्होंने गाना रिलीज किया। म्यूजिक इंटेंस का है, लिरिक्स राज रणझौड़ ने लिखे हैं, और मैं यहां पर हूं आपको उन लाइंस के बारे में बताने के लिए विच नीड्स आवर अटेंशन और ट्रांसलेशन।
ओ बारबेडोस दिए सोनिए कुड़िए रंग जो कणका दी जाई।
पहली लाइन आपको समझ आ गई होगी, यहां पर उनकी कंट्री ऑफ ओरिजिन की बात हो रही है, लेकिन दूसरी लाइन कमाल की है, विच इज रंग जो कणका दी जाई है, यानी तुम्हारा रंग ऐसा है जैसे तुम्हें कनक ने पैदा किया है, यानी व्हीटिश कलर की यहां पर बात हो रही है।
ओ राज ता रब नू करे सलामा जिन्हें परी तरत ते लाई।
तो यहां दिलजीत ने रिहाना को परी बुला दिया है, या फिर कहें अ गिफ्ट फ्रॉम गॉड।
तेरे खाड़े विच आमा पाके कोड़दा पजामा नी रिहाना।
Okay, so this one is very funny because अखाड़ा गांव में लगता है, जहां पर जो पंजाबी सिंगर्स उन्हें इनवाइट किया जाता है। इट्स लाइक अ शो। सो बेसिकली जिस तरीके से हम इंटरनेशनल पॉप स्टार्स को देखते हैं अपना शो होल्ड करते हुए, सो इज कॉलिंग दैट अखाड़ा एंड ही इज सेइंग मैं तेरे अखाड़े में आऊंगा कुर्ता पजामा पहन के। मतलब आधी रात को मैंने सारे हेटर्स को उठा के अपनी ट्रॉली में डाल दिया है। ऑल्सो कंगना रनौत ने रिहाना पर निशाना साधते हुए एक ट्वीट किया था। उसी के बाद दिलजीत और कंगना के बीच में एक बार फिर से ट्विटर वाली जंग शुरू हो गई थी, लेकिन उस पर फुल स्टॉप लगाते हुए दिलजीत ने आखिर में एक पंजाबी ट्वीट किया, आज तो बाद मैं तेरा कोई जवाब नहीं देना क्योंकि तेनू पै गया स्वाद ट्वीट ट्वीट खेटण दा, यानी मैं तेरा कोई रिप्लाई नहीं करने वाला। बंदे नूं 100 काम हुंदे आ, वैसे भी कोई तुक नहीं बंदा तेरियां गल्लां दा, बंदा किन्ना चिर मत्था मार लो तेरे नाल, नाले तेनू कोई आंसर देवे, तू मास्टर नहीं लगी है, तू मास्टर नहीं लगी है, इज फनी। Masterni is basically a teacher. That's all. Share this video with those who are finding it difficult to understand Riri or Diljit or Raj.
Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is on her way to Rampur to meet the family members of Navreet Singh, the young farmer who was killed when a tractor overturned on him during the Republic Day violence. She's accompanied by party leaders and her convoy is likely to reach Rampur even before 11 o'clock. So far, she's faced no sort of barriers, no efforts at stopping her convoy. The death of the 24-year-old farmer, a resident of Rampur, had triggered a massive controversy when some media, quoting the deceased father, tweeted and reported that he was hit by police bullets during the violent clashes in Delhi on January 26. His post-mortem report says he died from injuries after his tractor overturned. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, they're making a statement by going to meet with the family. NDTV's Akshay was also on his way to Rampur, and he sent us this report on the progress her convoy has made.
Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra along with senior party leaders as well as hundreds of followers are right now en route to Rampur where Navreet Singh's family lives. Now Navreet Singh is the farmer who died on 26th of January during the tractor rally inside the national capital of the farmers. As far as the farmers agitation is concerned, the Congress leaders including Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra have been very vocal and have been supporting the farmers cause as far as the agitation is concerned, which is going on against the three new farm laws. As far as the family of Navreet Singh is concerned, they live in Rampur and that's where the Congress leaders are headed to right now. But unlike the last time when there was a standoff between the UP police as well and the Congress leaders, when Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Rahul Gandhi went to meet the family of Hathras gang rape victim, this time there was absolutely no resistance. In fact, the entire convoy moved very smoothly into the state of Uttar Pradesh and right now are headed to Rampur. Also, the Congress leaders started from AICC headquarters at approximately 6:30 a.m. and are en route to Rampur. As of now, no resistance has been put up by UP police and there is no clear indication that the UP police will be trying to stop the Congress leaders from reaching Rampur, which in fact is a huge difference from what happened the last time when there was a huge ruckus when the UP police put barricades and stopped the Congress leaders from reaching Hathras. So what exactly happens next remains to be seen, but this in fact has come out as a huge move by the Congress leaders and a very bold one in fact to support the farmers' cause and to meet the victim's family who died on 26th of January. With camera person Manoj Thakur, I'm Akshay Dongre for NDTV.
All right, let's take a look at some other news now. And earlier on Monday, the Indian government had ordered Twitter to block over 100 accounts and tweets related to the ongoing farmers' protest. However, then on Monday night, Twitter had reinstated the accounts claiming freedom of speech despite the government order. Now, the Indian government has threatened penal action against the social media giant if it refuses to comply with the order. NDTV's Rubina Mongia reports.
Now, the notice issued by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology states that Twitter cannot assume the role of a court and justify non-compliance. Twitter, being an intermediary, is obliged to obey the directions as per satisfaction of authorities as to which inflammatory content will arouse passion and impact public order. Twitter cannot sit as an appellate authority over the satisfaction of the authorities about its potential impact on derailing public order. It further goes on saying that Twitter cannot assume the role of court and justify non-compliance. Now, earlier on Monday, MeitY had issued an emergency block order against over 100 Twitter accounts. Now, these accounts were deemed to be spreading misinformation about the ongoing farmer protests, including the hashtag Modi planning farmer genocide, which had the potential to incite violence. Now, the accounts also included those of the Kisan Ekta Morcha, AAP politicians, CEO of Prasar Bharati and news outlet Karawa. Now, what we have learned that while Twitter followed through the legal request earlier on, it later unblocked these accounts on Monday night. Now, sources say that Twitter deemed that these accounts and tweets are as free speech and newsworthy for public disclosure on Monday. And respecting users' voice and a commitment to freedom of expression is core to Twitter's operations, and hence it did not comply to blocking of those accounts on Monday. Now, India is one of the largest markets for Twitter, and the lack of transparency behind the ban order has started a fiery debate about freedom of expression and lack of transparency.
Gauti, would you say Ashwin will be the key to India's success in this series? Now, the English would have watched videos of him foxing Steve Smith time and again in Australia. They would like to save themselves from mental disintegration, something that all touring teams are wary of when they tour India.
See, I'll tell you one thing. English play spin very differently to Australians.
Right.
If you see English batters, they sweep a lot. They reverse sweep a lot. But if you see the Australian batsmen, they hardly sweep, whether it was Steve Smith, whether it was Labuschagne. And they were actually very timid as well. I'm sure England would not go that way. And if you see Joe Root, the way he played against Sri Lankan bowlers, he swept them a lot. So Ashwin's going to have a challenge as well, and I'm sure Ashwin is really shrewd and he's very experienced. He knows that how English batters will actually look to take him on as well. So he probably will bowl different lines, probably will bowl different lengths as well. So it's you can't compare both the sides, because English, the way they play spin is very different. So I'm sure it's going to be a great challenge and a very, very thrilling contest as well between Joe Root, Ben Stokes and all these batters against someone like Ashwin.
Gauti, who do you think can partner Ashwin? Jadeja would probably be out for the entire series. And how many spinners ideally do you think India should play? 2 or 3?
See, again, it has to be a like-to-like swap, and it goes definitely go with Akshar Patel, because he's very similar to someone like Ravindra Jadeja. Bowls really tight, can bat at number 7, can contribute with the bat. Plus, a left-arm spin is always a great option for any captain to have. Plus, you've got Kuldeep Yadav as well. So, looking at all the options and the way and the venue they're playing at, obviously, if India could go with 3 spinners, which is Akshar Patel, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Kuldeep Yadav, that will put them in very good stead. And at the same time, that will be a great combination as well. You've got 2 fast bowlers, 3 spinners. You've got enough ammunition for Virat Kohli to actually keep rotating his bowlers for the 4 or 5 days.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Good Morning India. I'm Gargi Rawat. Our top story, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is on her way to Rampur just now to meet the family members of Navreet Singh, the young farmer who was killed when a tractor overturned on him during the Republic Day violence. She's accompanied by party leaders and she left the Congress office early this morning. Her convoy is likely to reach Rampur even before noon. The death of the 24-year-old farmer, a resident of Rampur, had triggered a massive controversy when some in the media, quoting the deceased father, tweeted and reported that he was hit by a police bullet during the violent clashes in Delhi on January 26. In fact, FIRs have been filed against some in the media who tweeted regarding the farmer's death. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's convoy currently on the way to Rampur. So far, she has not faced any sort of barriers or barricades. Remember, last time she went to UP to Hathras to visit the family of the woman who had been allegedly gang raped. She faced major resistance from the authorities there, where barricades were put up and there were attempts to stop the Congress leaders from reaching Hathras. But this time, she is so far faced no sort of barriers or any sort of resistance from UP authorities as she is on her way to Rampur. She's expected to reach before 11 o'clock. Well, let's go across to NDTV's Akshay, who joins us from Ghazipur. Akshay, what is the latest you can tell us about Priyanka Gandhi Vadra on her way to Rampur?
Well, Gargi, first of all, let's talk about Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who is in fact going to Rampur and is currently en route. We followed her till Pilakua, and the convoy was moving without being stopped by the UP police. Now, this is in fact a very big change or a shift in strategy of UP police, because earlier, every time the Congress leaders tried to reach out to any victim of either gang rape as far as Hathras is concerned, or any time there was a similar sort of move, there was heavy resistance by the UP police. But today, absolutely no resistance, no barriers, no police officials asking them that where exactly they were going. And the convoy moved very, very swiftly from Delhi.
All right, well, moving on with the news, and a huge crowd had gathered at Jind in Haryana for the farmers' Mahapanchayat or meeting to push for the repeal of 3 new laws at the heart of the farmers' protest. While several such gatherings have been seen in the past few days in Uttar Pradesh, Wednesday's meeting took it to Haryana's Jat heartland. Bharatiya Kisan Union leader Rakesh Tikait addressed the gathering at Jind, considered the epicenter of Jat politics in Haryana.
These massive anti-farm law Mahapanchayats, so far seen in the UP's Jat belt, now spread to Haryana. This one held in Jind district, the political capital of Haryana, the epicenter of the state's Jat politics. Unusually for Haryana, the loudest cheers for Rakesh Tikait, the Jat leader from western Uttar Pradesh, whose emotional appeal went viral, triggering a resurgence of the anti-farm law protests. This village, Kandela, was the first in this region to have sent men to Tikait's sit-in at the Delhi-UP Ghaziabad border in response to the video.
चौधरी देवीलाल को ताऊ देवीलाल की उपाधि दी गई थी। अब हमें राकेश टिकैत को दादा टिकैत की उपाधि देने लग रही है जी।
The frenzy so high and the rush to be on stage so great that at one point the stage collapsed. Ticket, unhurt, told the gathering that our demand are same: repeal the laws.
हमने अभी बिल वापसी की बात करी है। सरकार कान खोल कर सुन ले। अगर इस नौजवान ने गद्दी वापसी की बात कर दी तो क्या करोगे? अगर इसने गद्दी वापसी की बात कर दी तो क्या करोगे? आप अपना काम कर लो, ये बिल वापसी ले लो।
Jeend district is always considered as the political capital of Haryana. The district has 5 assembly seats, 3 represented by the JJP, which is partner in the government. This Mahapanchayat is a clear call to all the leaders who are in the government, especially Dushyant Chautala. But since this agitation has started, Dushyant has not spoken a word against the farm laws, but he maintained this line that we can resolve the crisis with discussions, or the government is ready to accept the demands and make amendments in the laws.
JJP है ना, वो BJP की B team है सर। हमने JJP को वोट दिया था, ना कि BJP को।
Gatherings like this are likely to further turn up the heat.
The Mahapanchayat at Kandela village has come to an end, attended by Rakesh Tiket, Balbir Singh Rajewal and other farm union leaders, KHAP leaders and female leaders from Haryana. But a strong message has been sent out to the entire Haryana that come out in numbers, support those who are sitting at protest site near Delhi border to get the laws repealed. With camera person Ashwini Mehra in Jeend, Mohammad Ghazali for Hindi TV.
And at the Singhu border, a protest site in Delhi, the police have increased the barriers cutting off farmers from Delhi, and this has impacted the water supply as well from Delhi at least. The media too has to walk several kilometers now to reach the protest site. Saurabh Shukla reports.
Right now we are standing at Singhu border because media is not allowed today to enter from that side of Delhi. So we have walked almost 6 kilometers to reach here, and you can see the preparations by Delhi police. They have made a wall with concrete and these iron rods. They have placed these 3 feet iron rods and they have sharpened them. So these farmers cannot enter to Delhi. And you can see that the cranes are there. They are digging National Highway and they are going to build a second wall here, and they have covered the iron nails with the cloth. You can see that cloth that they have covered it with iron cloth, and you can see these beams and iron rods they are going to put inside there, and then they will place another set of barricades. And you can see that's Delhi and that is Haryana.
Now, an interesting development on social media front regarding Twitter. Now, on Monday, the Indian government had ordered that Twitter block over 100 accounts and tweets related to the ongoing farmers' protest, which Twitter initially complied with. But later on, then on Monday night, Twitter reinstated these accounts, claiming freedom of speech despite the government order. Now, the Indian government has threatened penal action against the social media giant if it refuses to comply with the order. NDTV's Rubina brings us the details.
Now, the notice issued by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology states that Twitter cannot assume the role of a court and justify non-compliance. Twitter, being an intermediary, is obliged to obey the directions as per satisfaction of authorities as to which inflammatory content will arouse passion and impact public order. Twitter cannot sit as an appellate authority over the satisfaction of the authorities about its potential impact on derailing public order. It further goes on saying that Twitter cannot assume the role of court and justify non-compliance. Now, earlier on Monday, MeitY had issued an emergency block order against over 100 Twitter accounts. Now, these accounts were deemed to be spreading misinformation about the ongoing farmer protests, including the hashtag Modi planning farmer genocide, which had the potential to incite violence. Now, the accounts also included those of the Kisan Ekta Morcha, AAP politicians, CEO of Prasar Bharati and news outlet Karawa. Now, what we have learned that while Twitter followed through the legal request earlier on, it later unblocked these accounts on Monday night. Now, sources say that Twitter deemed that these accounts and tweets are as free speech and newsworthy for public disclosure on Monday. And respecting users' voice and a commitment to freedom of expression is core to Twitter's operations, and hence it did not comply to blocking of those accounts on Monday. Now, India is one of the largest markets for Twitter, and the lack of transparency behind the ban order has started a fiery debate about freedom of expression and lack of transparency.
Well, to talk more about this situation, we're joined now by Pavan Duggal, cyber law expert, and advocate Nikhil Pahwa, founder Media Nama. Thank you both for joining us. And Nikhil, first this is a very, very, interesting sort of situation currently with the government having asked for these accounts to be taken down. Twitter initially complied, saying, it's a legal notice and the accounts were taken down. But then after a meeting or after rethinking it and talking about freedom of speech, these accounts were reinstated. And now through sources, it's been leaked to the media that the government is not happy with this and there could even be action against Twitter.
Yeah, Gagi, I think Twitter's probably taken a big risk to stand up for free speech. Look, the action from the government is very clearly disproportionate. A hashtag being blocked and entire accounts being blocked means that the entire speech, whether it's legitimate or illegal, from those accounts is being stopped. When that happens, it's a disproportionate censorship of free speech. I can understand one or two messages that the government may deem as creating a public order situation being censored, and we've seen that happen in the past. And Twitter has issued notices to users when there's an individual tweet or an individual message, but an entire account being blocked is disproportionate. And I don't think that if this gets challenged in the Supreme Court, when you look at the Shreya Singhal judgment, it will be seen as disproportionate, because even with the hashtag, there were people who were using the same hashtag to counter the narrative.
And for our viewers, the hashtag is a hashtag linking, talking about a farmer's genocide linked to the Prime Minister, and that is what the government has found so outrageous and wanted blocked. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, but there's counter speech also possible with that hashtag. Someone can counter the narrative that the government doesn't want and say that, what people are saying using this hashtag is incorrect. Blocking the hashtag removes all speech altogether related to the hashtag. So what the government is doing is wrong. And it's doing it secretly. There has been no publicly available information under this. I know Section 69 allows that. But if you look at it historically, when the Chinese apps were banned, the government issued a press release saying that these are the apps that have been banned. This is why it's been banned. So there's a different set of standards when it comes to banning of Chinese apps, and the different set of standards from the government when it comes to banning speech of Indians. And so therefore, this is a problem. This needs to be addressed in court, saying that how can you have dual standards over here? It can't be that the government does what it wants, whenever it wants, in terms of censoring our fundamental right to free speech.
Right, Pavan Duggal, your view on this entire situation, with this hashtag, as Nikhil was talking about, and the fact the government wanted the entire, Twitter handles taken down over it, Twitter initially complying, but then has allowed them back on, and the government not happy. And again, nothing official. There are all these sources-based information which is out in the media which says the government not happy, they'll take action against Twitter, even penal action against them.
Well, the government has the right to take penal action. That's what the law of the land says under Section 69A(3). It's a non-bailable serious offence, punishable with imprisonment up to 7 years and fine. But historically speaking, we haven't yet got a conviction reported in the public domain under Section 69A of the IT Act, primarily because this kind of a situation never really arose in the past. Here is for the first time where the intermediary, after initially complying with the orders for blocking, has actually gone ahead and said, look, these orders are in gross violation of people's freedom of speech and expression. The government may be technically right that once order has been passed, you are no longer entitled to challenge it. But then there is a caveat to that. The intermediary can obviously go ahead and challenge that particular order under Section 69A of the IT Act, not only under the appeal procedures under the Information Technology Act, but more significantly can also go up in the writ petition, the writ jurisdictions of the either High Court under Article 226 of the Constitution or before the Supreme Court under Article 32. At the end of the day, now as more and more ubiquitous internet is getting, it's becoming very, very clear that there must be crystal clear guidelines as to what should be the formula that's going to be adopted by the government when it goes ahead and interprets these widely drafted terms under Section 69A. Now, when I look at the grounds for blocking, they are bizarre and huge and vast in their approach and ambit. sovereignty, security, integrity of India, friendly
Right,
relations
if I can just tell our
with other
viewers,
nations.
69A of the IT Act allows the government to block public access to information in the interest of sovereignty, integrity of India, defense of India, security of the state, friendly relations with foreign states or public order, for preventing incitement or to the commission of any sort of cognizable offence relating to the above. So yes, very vast, and you know, again, it's something that can be disputed whether these tweets or even this hashtag exactly amounted to that. Nikhil, your response?
Yeah, you know, just to add to what Pavan has said, the other problem with this particular law is that, you know, a government official issues the order and then a government committee reviews the order. So the government proposes and the government disposes. There is no independent oversight. There is no transparency. There is no accountability here. Today, there have been thousands of Section 69A orders that have been issued since 2010 or 2011, and we have no visibility except for two instances, which are the China apps bans, right? So these Section 69 by itself is designed to be, if the government, within the government, they've taken a decision to do something, it can't be challenged, except in court. So I think this needs to go to court, and this process needs to change, and Section 69 in its current form needs to be declared unconstitutional.
Right. So, Pavan, do you see this now going to court? Because we're in a kind of a standoff situation with the government having ordered that Twitter take down these accounts, Twitter talking about freedom of speech and not having taken that, initially, of course, blocking the accounts, but then reinstating them. So right now we only have, you know, this news in the media that the government may take action. There could be penal action, you know, sort of threatening Twitter. So now we'll have to wait and see what happens next.
Clearly, I think all directions are going forward towards the legal adjudication of this entire controversy by the courts of law. And I think it's logical also. The waters of the implementation of the IT Act need to be tested. And in case Shreya Singhal needs to be revisited again now in 2021, I think the time has come. Shreya Singhal came in March 2015. The life and the times of those times and the years were different. Right now, it's a different internet. It's a new ground reality. And therefore, quickly, we come up with appropriate checks and balances which the court can interpret as part of the constitutional framework, the better it is. At the end of the day, what Nikhil says has absolutely a lot of value. There has to be accountability. There has to be transparency. And unfortunately, neither the IT Act Section 69A nor the rules and regulations under the IT Act tend to give enough kind of transparency or accountability. Also, I think because everything is so opaque, it's just possible for just about any kind of circumstance to be brought under the broad expanse and interpretation of the terms given under Section 69A. So I think the judiciary should definitely come in and try to read down some of these provisions. They need to give illustrations under what kind of minimum parameters.
All right, go to the judiciary. Final, I'm completely out of time. Nikhil, one last point.
One last point. This order seems to, from what we've heard, seems to suggest that it's been issued under public order. Now, the tweets have been back up for 2 days now. Where is a rational nexus between the tweets being up and visible and there being a public order situation being created because of the tweets? So, in that sense, the assessment that these tweets are causing are going to create a problem is in itself incorrect, because over 2 days nothing has happened.
All right. Well, I'll have to leave it there. Thank you both, Nikhil and Pavan, for joining us. And clearly, a lot more clarity and transparency is required. Well, with that, time for us to slip into a short break. We'll get you more news on the other side, the latest on the vaccination. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now, India has become the fastest country in the world to reach the 4 million COVID vaccination mark in 18 days. That's what the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare said. But vaccinations are now showing a sharp drop. More doses are being exported than Indians vaccinated. Take a look.
18 days into India's vaccination drive, and the numbers have seen a dip again. In the last week, India's daily vaccinations have gone from 5.7 lakh to 1.8 lakh, and the number of average beneficiaries per site has also decreased in the last few days from 57 to 49. Experts suggest that India will have to do a lot more to achieve its targets.
If we have to vaccinate 60 crore doses, which is 30 crore people in next 6 months, we will have to very rapidly increase the pace of vaccination. The average pace will have to be 33 lakh doses to be given every day. For this, government must open more and more vaccination centers, allow other volunteers who want to take vaccination to receive vaccination in priority basis, and if government is not able to manage this, then even allow private sector to allow vaccinating the citizens.
Vaccination of frontline workers has now begun as scheduled from the first week of February. States like Gujarat, West Bengal and Punjab have already started it, and the rest will start by the end of this week. But government officials admit that the dip in numbers is largely due to vaccine hesitancy, and the spike seen earlier was due to introduction of walk-in vaccinations.
Earlier we got numbers of those people who were really eager to take the vaccine. So initially we got that response in big number because people wanted to take the vaccine. So they were really, looking for the vaccine, and as it was available, so they came. But then gradually over a period of time it was vaccine hesitancy which has set in, and that's how people are, not able to come, because there are different, they suffer from, I think, lot of, issues related to vaccine hesitancy factor needs to be addressed also. The sites also have to be really proactive in terms of, whenever there is an immunization day. Now for Delhi we have made all the days for immunization for this COVID-19 vaccine, but we have to make sure a day before that, the call goes to every person, and if, the people are not going to come, then we need to push this whole agenda further, and we need to call more number of people from the next list.
There are certain questions over India's vaccination drive. The government is yet to clarify when it will start vaccinations for the general public, especially senior citizens. Most countries across the world started their vaccination drive with seniors first. The centre last week said that it is engaging with the private sector and has received their inputs, but is yet to come out with a decision on how and when it will collaborate with them.
The Union Health Ministry today declared that India is the fastest country to reach the mark of 4 million vaccinations. It achieved the mark in 18 days. But India will have to pick up the pace of vaccinations to ensure that it achieves its own targets too on time. In New Delhi with camera person Xavier Thomas, this is Sukirti Dwivedi for NDTV.